hi everybody, Choochin on a Thursday afternoon. I've got the sock on the GoPro. Yes, I've got the wind sock. And it's not quite as windy as it was a couple hours ago. It was crazy outside. It felt like fall. It didn't even feel like spring. And I'm looking around today, looking up at the sky, and it's just kind of weird. I guess we're supposed to be clearing off, but about a half an hour ago, it looked like we were going to get a raging thunderstorm, which of course, as they say, it never rains in California, and probably from about April 15th onward, it's true, to December. And it was one of those things when I first moved to California, I had a hard time getting my head around, because growing up on the East Coast and then living in Hong Kong and over in China for a lot of years, and you'd have these terrific typhoons, and in May and June it would be steamy and rainy every day in Hong Kong, and just sweaty and mold growing on everything. And I'll tell you guys, I got to California and I thought I died and went to heaven, except for the allergies, which are totally kicking my ass right now. I thought I really died and went to heaven because, you know, from like April through November, not one day of rain. I mean, you can plan events, you can have outdoor barbecues, you can get in your RV and go pop a Choochin down the road to your campsite. You're not going to be dickered with the rain and everything. Every day is just beautiful weather, and I really, you know, with all its warts and all its terrible stuff and problems and population and crowding and this and that, taxes and Lulus in the States. Hello. Warts and all, it's still a hell of a great place to live year round. You know, I don't see snow. I haven't shoveled snow in years. And you guys know, you know, you plant an orange tree and you go outside like we have on the rancho, get your breakfast, grab a couple of the Valencia oranges, squeeze them up, and you know, it's like I just couldn't believe. I thought I was in heaven. It's like you could stick a wooden pole in the ground and it would grow. So it's been awesome. You know, philosophically speaking, I had a lot of people asking me, are things better now? Because I have a lot of new people on the channel, and there's a lot of younger girls that are just starting out, transitioning, that are watching the channel, and they're looking down the road. They're looking down the road. Well, what's it like when you're transgendered 15, 20 years? I mean, what's the life like? And they check out the Rosie O'Kelly, and oh, between the time I started dressing to relieve the mental anguish of the gender issues and things to now, it's been about 20 years. And the number one question they ask me, the number one question that they ask me, what do you think it is? Take a guess. The number one question that they ask me is, Rosie, are things better or worse than they were 20 years ago? And of course the answer from me is an unequivocal yes, it's better by far. You've got to remember, one of the things that set the transgender movement back so many years in this country was things like the Jerry Springer show, where for the sake of entertainment and ratings, and they would have hillbillies and all this crazy stuff, trannies gone wild, and moonshine and trannies and all this crazy stuff, and hillbilly trans. I'll tell you guys, you talk about a brutal stereotype to overcome. It's only with the passing of that generation and a new generation coming on now that, you know, Jerry Springer doesn't mean as much in the world today. But it just goes to show you, a popular medium like TV, how much it can influence the thought processes and the prejudices of people in the world. In other words, they'll never see you as you are. They'll always see you as a future guest on the Jerry Springer show. right? Rosie O'Kelly, man-made American babe, moonshining training. But the reality is, and this is really so cool, is that big media has lost the ability to deliver the message. You have had this total fracturing and this generalization of the spread of information. Now, some people choose to get their information from an Alex Jones, some from a CNN. It's the whole spectrum, right? Fox News, we didn't have that 20 years ago. I mean, there were very few sources of information and very few sources that shaped public opinion. And now I saw today more people watch YouTube videos than watch TV in a week, and I'm not surprised. Because people can specifically get the content that they want to see without their minds being unduly influenced by big media messages and stuff. And I think that's really cool. So are things getting better today? Yes. You know, because young people might scratch their heads and wonder what it is to be transgendered. But unless they're in a market, a small market that's watching some of the rare Jerry Springer reruns or some of the other freaky shows that were out there in the 90s and stuff, they're not going to be influenced by that stuff anymore. They're going to rather turn to YouTube, check it out and see, wow, this is just another gendered person out here. It's one of the reasons that the activism on gay rights and stuff could make so much progress today, because big media and advertisers can no longer shape the message as easily as they did so many years ago. People are thinking for themselves more and more, and it's really a liberating experience. And all of you girls just starting out in transition and all that, it's such a better world today. But you got to give a tip of your hat to some of the girls. Sorry, the battery, the card was full. I had to open up a little space, but as I was saying, guys, you owe a tip of your hat to the girls that came before, because I'll tell you what, not just myself, but even girls before me in the 70s, 80s, they're the ones that really took the hits. Yes, those of us who lived through the Jerry Springer days and all that, we'll never forget some of the brutality that accompanied. Just, it was like a word association game when you would say transgender or something like that. The first thing that would pop into people's mind would be Jerry Springer and all that. So when girls ask me, is it a better world to be transgender today? Yes, it is. And in so many ways, it's a better world to be whatever you are today, to express your individuality and really live up to your individual freedoms that are guaranteed to you in this country. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for listening today. Finishing up on the Avenue of Love here. Have a wonderful Thursday evening.